Hi, I'm Jeff Haynes, and this is the video review of the Toshiba Thrive 7-inch tablet. While some tablet manufacturers claim that there is only a 10-inch market for tablets, the success of the Samsung Galaxy 7 series, the Nook Color, and even the Kindle Fire prove that there is a burgeoning 7-inch market for users that want a smaller experience. Toshiba thinks that it has its own take on the 7-inch tablet with the Toshiba Thrive 7-inch. But just how good is this particular device? Why don't we find out? The Toshiba Thrive 7-inch tablet we received was powered by an Nvidia Tegra 2 dual-core processor running at 1 GHz with 1 GB of RAM. The tablet runs Android 3.2 or Honeycomb, and it displays content on a 7-inch capacitive multi-touch LED screen with a native resolution of 1280 by 800. The device comes with 16 GB of internal storage that's expandable up to 32 GB via MicroSD card. The tablet comes with a 5 megapixel rear-facing camera that can capture video in 720p, and a 2 megapixel front-facing camera. The Thrive also comes with a mini USB 2.0 port, a micro HDMI port, and stereo speakers with SRS Premium Voice Suite. Rounding out some of the specs are full Wi-Fi support, an ambient light sensor and GPS, gyroscope and accelerometer, and pre-installed apps. The first thing we noticed was how fast the Thrive was as a tablet. Cold booting the device to the initial lock screen consistently measured in around 35 seconds, which is very good for virtually any tablet on the market. But we also found that the Thrive's Tegra 2 processor flew through tasks. It demonstrated smooth scrolling, zooming, and panning of content, and whether it was running pre-installed apps or browsing, the Thrive really didn't display a hint of slowdown. We also found the display of the Thrive to be extremely good. Every bit of content looks sharp and crisp on the screen, with colors looking natural and not washed out at all. The 1280 by 800 resolution is particularly vibrant for a 7-inch tablet, considering that this is much more of a native resolution for a 10-inch device. We also found it particularly easy to use for hours at a time without our hands getting tired or cramping. Now, part of this was thanks to the device being 7 inches and very light, but we also attributed much of it to the textured back panel with its rubberized surface. Another thing that stood out with the Thrive are the number of ports on the device. The decision to include a micro HDMI port for video output is a very nice addition, as well as the expansion option for micro USB storage for up to 32 GB cards. The addition of mini USB, as well as a jack for headphones or portable speakers, is a nice addition as well. Also, while the tablet had the standard gyroscope, accelerometer, and compass that tablet users are accustomed to, the addition of an ambient light sensor that automatically adjusts screen brightness of the device shows that Toshiba didn't cut a lot of corners of the technical aspects of the tablet itself. So with these advantages, what didn't we like about the Thrive? Well, for starters, we found a number of features to be somewhat lacking or underwhelming compared to what was initially touted by the specs of the device. By themselves, they might not seem like a lot, but the combination of everything was really hard to overlook. For instance, the shutter lag on the camera was consistently 4 to 5 seconds at least before a picture was taken. This was a particularly long time to avoid any possible camera shake for a single snapshot, even if those pictures that were taken were very sharp and clear. Similarly, we found that the camcorder function was rather weak, as the camera had trouble tracking transitions from bright to dark areas, and any lighting changes took a while for the camera to find the right exposure. Pans also managed to create some noticeable blur in video as well. We also found the battery came in a lot shorter than Toshiba's claims of 6 hours of battery life. During our tests of mixed use, we noticed an average of around 4.5 hours, with the device getting its lowest battery length around 3.5 hours from streaming video and using Bluetooth functionality for the slate. Clearly, the manufacturer was a bit optimistic with its claims, and the fact that it took just under 3 hours to fully recharge the tablet meant that you'd be tied to a plug much more than you'd like. We also found that the Wi-Fi reception of the Thrive could be pretty hit or miss. During some of our tests, where the Thrive was placed next to a router, it pulled down around 65 megabits a second. But with just a slight distance away, the tablet only managed to get over half that download and upload speed with only a good signal strength compared to other devices that displayed excellent signals in the exact same range. Add to that the reluctance of the tablet to acknowledge the disconnect when the screen was set off setting in Honeycomb, we really couldn't help but wonder if the Wi-Fi reception was going to be a bit touch and go with this device no matter where we happen to be. Speaking of questionable usage, we noticed that the Thrive fell victim to some glitches during our tests, like a number of reboots that occurred at random when we were playing games, or even system freezes when it was streaming music and we decided to launch another app. Finally, we found that the sound of the Thrive was relatively mediocre, and even with the sound up to maximum, it really wasn't loud enough. Bass is non-existent, while mid-range tones are pretty thin, so while it might be fine for surfing and watching a video on the web, or casual games here or there, if you want to watch a movie or really enjoy entertainment on this particular device, you'll really want earphones or a speaker. We found the Toshiba Thrive 7-inch tablet to be an incredibly fast system, with a screen that was easily the best one for a tablet of its size. We found that the system was quick and responsive, and everything that we ran on it looked great. Plus, the rubberized back, the light weight, and the form factor made sure that we could hold on to this tablet for hours on end. Unfortunately, it also had some pretty noticeable shortcomings, like its questionable and spotty Wi-Fi reception, its mediocre sound, and its really weak battery. There are also some things that we couldn't overlook, like its glitches that really started to mar the fast performance, and the fact that it had some camera issues. While we like the Toshiba Thrive 7-inch, we couldn't overlook all of these shortcomings, which is why we decided to give it a 3.5 out of 5. For all of the news, reviews, coupons, and deals that you're interested in, be sure to follow us on Twitter or check out our Facebook page. And for all of our video unboxings and reviews, be sure to go to techbargains.com/YouTube.